Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers released May 13th, 2022, 18 songs, 1 hour and 13 minutes. Double album. Disc 1, Disc 2. Disc 1, Disc 2. Disc 1 is the Big Steppers and Disc 2 is Mr. Morale. So
yeah.
Kendrick, what's going on there?
He loves it when we tell him, oh, you want us to play it backwards? And he's like, yeah, someone clocked it.
Highly anticipated, long awaited, as he alluded to there. Over 1,000 days. 5 years.
5.02 years, to be exact.
No one was asking you to be exact, but I'm glad that you were able to do that. I know that was big for you.
Thank you.
I'm proud of you. I'm happy for you.
Thank you, man.
You thought I was going to shit on you. No, I'm here to uplift you.
No.
I'm here to uplift you. I'm uplifting my fellow black man now. You know, Kendrick's come. It's time to enlighten people.
Yeah, I can't lie. The second the Heart Part 5 dropped, I said, oh, it's time to get the hose.
Yeah, it's time to get home. And say, oh, the Heart Part 5 drops. It's time to talk about black consciousness and
yep,
and you know, all of that shit. And, oh, it's gonna be a cultural reset. And for the hip hop that's I hate, nigga. Oof.
Yeah.
Ooh. If there's one big pet peeve I had this week, listen, I get that we were dick riding. I get it. I get it. Me, I was there too. You saw. I played Song of the Day every day. You saw. I was dick riding too. You don't need to shit on people when you're dick riding. And if you genuinely believe that Kendrick dropping this album, however good you feel it is, or however great you think he is, was a cultural reset for hip hop, you're not a fan of hip hop.
Yeah, you haven't been listening.
Let me just say that for free. Let me just say that for free right now, because I came on this podcast at the back end of last year, and I believe you agreed with me when I said it. The hip hop is one of the greatest places I had ever seen it in my personal lifetime. And that was without Kendrick being present. So that was with me ready for J. Cole to call it a day. So let me just say that and keep it big stepping. Kendrick Lamar, man, Miss Morale and the Big Steppers is finally here. Long awaited, long anticipated. The double album, we got it. We finally got it. Niggas was forecasting that Damn would be a double album. It wasn't, but we finally got it. He said, I got you, niggas. Don't worry about it. Initial thoughts, because like I said, it's only 2 days for us of listening to this. I will say, obviously, what I was looking forward to seeing or potentially seeing when, like I mentioned on track 63, is with Lil Baby be on it. He obviously wasn't. Maybe Kendrick knew about the Rico coming down the line. He's got bigger fish to fry. But I feel like, obviously I wasn't right when I said Lil Baby, but Kodak being on there was like,
big.
Not a shock, but it was big. It wasn't a shock, but it was very big. And it was just like, okay, cool. Keeping your ears to the streets. Really fuck with that. But yeah, initial thoughts, man.
I had a journey with this album. I had a journey. So obviously, it's no secret. This is probably, from the second he announced it, from the second that Kendrick said he'll drop in one more album on TDE, I don't think there's been anything that I've anticipated more than Kendrick's next album. From the second he told us that the album was going to be called Mr. Morale and Big Steppers and it's going to come out on May 13th, my excitement only went up. Then he dropped the Heart Part 5, which I've just spent however long saying was unbelievable to me. He had it on repeat all week. So my excitement for this album was pretty much as high as it could possibly get. My expectations were sky high. So the very first time I hit play and heard United in Grief, I was super excited. I was like, yep, this is what I was expecting. Kendrick about to tell us that Kendrick starting the album telling us he grieves different. I was like, yeah, okay, we're getting something special here. This whole album is about to be special. N95, special to me. I could be wrong here. Baby Keem was on N95, right? That is Baby Keem's voice I'm hearing, or is it Kendrick doing one of his voices? It's Baby Keem, right?
I'm not too sure.
I'm not sure because
I can't picture it right now.
Because he does throughout the album tell us when people are featuring on there, but there's no listed features on N95 for whatever reason. So I'm not sure if it's Baby Keem I'm hearing there or not. But it was when I got to Worldwide Steppers that I got a little bit nervous, because similar to how you're saying with the Heart Part 5, the beat on Worldwide Steppers threw me. It wasn't necessarily for me in terms of what I would usually expect from a beat, and it meant that for whatever reason, the first time I heard it, I couldn't even really hear what he was saying because the beat was throwing me off so much, and I got very, very nervous very quickly. And I said, "No, please, I can't have this be an album that I don't like because I've been so excited for it. It would actually be devastating if this album ends up being something that I don't like because Kendrick went too artsy with it." But he immediately put all my fears and worries to rest with the next song being Die Hard, which elite level song. And then from there, I was in love with the whole album, to be honest with you. I think, I don't know why I would rank this all time in Kendrick albums, but what I can say today is that it's an album that I love. It's an album that it was just an experience. It was an experience. I didn't expect Kendrick to be as vulnerable throughout this album as he ended up being. I thought it was going to be another something like To Pimp a Butterfly, where he comes on with a topic and he speaks on the topic. Even on Good Kid, Mad City, which was a very personal album to Kendrick, I don't think it was as vulnerable as this album, where he's actually telling you some of the trials and tribulations he's gone through in life, which I loved. I loved I really, really enjoyed this album, man. This was a great album. It met my expectations for what I expect from Kendrick. I have nothing bad to say about this album, man. Nothing bad.
I think it's his most introspective album, which is saying something, because I think every single album that he's dropped has been deeply introspective. That's why I'll sort of disagree, not necessarily disagree, but reframe the point that you just made about sort of saying how vulnerable he is on this album. I think he's his most vulnerable on this album. I think that's probably just comes with age, being a father, being married, I believe, having 5 years to live a life and live that life and seeing the world change and grieving, as he mentioned, and dealing with those different things comes with age. Sort of like we see really with all sort of the black male celebrities in the forefront who are sort of learning how to be vulnerable with age. But I think he's always been vulnerable in different ways. I think throughout his albums, even going back to Good Kid, 3 niggas in 1 room, first time I was tossed. Vulnerable is vulnerable as a 22-year-old. You know what I mean? So it's different. And Sing About Me, Dying of Thirst, and the different stories that he sort of encapsulated on Good Kid, Mad City. So he's always been vulnerable, always been introspective. I think this is definitely by far and away the most introspective which he's been, which is a jarring experience because you consider someone, like I say, he's a very vulnerable artist. So for this to be the most he's been, it just takes you to a higher platform, a higher level. You get, like, when you get down to the 3-song run of Savior, Auntie Diaries, and Mr. Morale, special in the introspective nature of that. Like, you look at Savior and he spends, like, look at how it starts. Like, Kendrick Lamar may be your favorite, but he is not your savior. J. Cole may have taught you to be conscious, but he is not your savior. LeBron may have taught you, and it's necessary. Like, you look at, like, it was one of the things I saw, like, people were coming on Twitter saying, man, look, Kendrick's come and saved hip hop, after he just spent the whole album telling you that he's not a savior. So we're instantly back to Hove, where he's saying, do you fools listen to music or do you just skim through it? Like, the fuck? So I thought that was really important. And then is it on Auntie Diaries or Mr. Morale now? I'm gonna get them wrong, where he's at the end of the song. No, it is on Auntie Diaries, sorry, where he gets to the end of the song and he's like, I remember it reminded me of a time where I brought one of my fans on stage and I let that white woman rap and she said the N-word. It's like, we can all say the F word together as long as you're all cool with a white woman saying nigger. And it got me to the central point of, like, what Kendrick's, discography has been about, which is just dealing with his own hypocrisy. Which has always been throughout it. And this was just the height of that. You go back to The Blacker the Berry. So why did I cry when Trayvon Martin was in the street when gangbanging made me kill a nigga blacker than me? Hypocrite, you know what I'm saying? And even all of the tales on Good Kid, Mad City, and then you flip it here, and he's dealing with like, it's like the first 3 albums or first 4 albums, including Section 80. 4 albums, including Section 80. He talked around it, and now on this album, he actually did the therapy of talking through it.
Yeah.
Which, if you've ever done therapy, is the gambit. Like, you'll come in there and you want to talk around an issue, and you won't actually see any progress until you talk through an issue. Which I thought was very interesting. It's for me anyway, the type of hip hop that really resonates with me. It always will resonate with me when I see someone do therapy through their music. It's the same thing. The same thing when I came. The same thing I said when I came here and we talked about God Don't Make Mistakes, Conway. When you're seeing someone have a therapy session, or you're hearing someone have their therapy session on wax, it resonates. So this resonated a lot in so many different aspects. I like that aspect of it. On my first listen, I was listening to it while I was working on Friday. And I was really distracted. I had a lot of calls and it wasn't really resonating. And then Saturday, I went on a long ass drive and I went for a walk with my camera because the sun was out. And that was when I started to really pick up on different things that he was saying and sort of different concepts, which I was really fucking with. Like on Rich Spirit, I really like Rich Spirit. I think that's probably, so far, it's probably my favorite song, Rich Spirit. But I really like Rich Spirit. Like even when he's talking about thoughts and prayers, a better off timeline, you know what I'm saying? Like that's something that I've been sort of resonating with and saying for years now is like, I don't go on social media and say thoughts and prayers or RIP. Like they're better off when you actually just do it rather than saying thoughts and prayers, which is why even on this podcast I try not to do it as often. But I really like that. And then even some of the more different concepts, like even on that song, I think he started off with I was taking my daughter to school one day, and it's like, again, it's Hove did the same, where he's like, Blue told me remind you niggas, like having a child and having to balance that. You see they're realizing some of the faults that they had and changing and just sort of changing their ways. Again, when he gets to on Auntie Diaries, where he's like, my uncle Demetrius is my auntie Demetrius is a man. Do you know what I mean? And it's just like, that's just how it goes. Like we got that, and then he's dealing with how they were then shunned in the church because of that. And then it's like, well, what if the tenet of our religion is love? Then why is this such a big deal? And then he stepped up for his auntie in that sense, and they appreciated it. But then we got to have a deeper conversation about the fact that you were using this F word, which is a derogatory term, against people in my community for generations. Like, yeah, but I was always taught if the word didn't have any meaning behind it, when you say it, it's not a big deal. Okay, then you should be okay with that white woman saying nigger on stage. And we're not.
Yeah.
So it makes us the hypocrite. And I liked the way that he broached that topic, because again, Black of the Berry was him broaching it from community perspective. Like he says so why did I cry when Trayvon Martin was in the street when gangbang? But he's talking from a community perspective. Talking about we. This was him. This was him. And in it being him, it forces us to it doesn't force you, but it forces someone like me to do the same thought experiment at the time. And I'm sure it will to other people who maybe heard it and felt sort of similar feelings too.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Like, again, it's just a very personal album, and you can feel it from the whole way through. Huh?
You sounded like RDC. Well, it's a personal album.
Only, and then y'all niggas talking about this shit boring, but it's a personal album.
Nah, like there's no other way. It's so like from, again, the topics that he approaches during this album, I didn't see it coming. I didn't see all of these topics being mentioned on one album. Him talking about writer's block, him talking about abuse within his family, him talking about people being discriminated against in his family and how he had to deal with that.
Him calling Kanye and Drake bitches.
him.
Oh, gloss over it. Oh, he said it. It wasn't me. He said I wouldn't have done that for me personally, but that's cool if y'all want to do it.
He said it wasn't mature enough yet. Him talking about relationship issues, which, by the way, we cried together. It's a cheat.
No, we'll get to it. Don't worry. We're not there yet. There's other things I want to talk about because when we started that, I'm not going to stop. Him talking about fucking white bitches.
Yeah.
My ancestors looking at me and being like, nigga, what are you doing?
Yeah. There's so many topics in this album that, again, they're personal to him. But as you said, like every single time he mentions one of them, there's no way that you can't mirror it to your own life and say, okay, he's low-key nailing this. Like he's hitting the hammer on the nail on the head right here.
It's the beauty of living. It's the beauty of living. Go and live a life because like there's more to the best hip hop and the best music is like when it's an expression of real life, and you have to live a real life to have anything to express. It's why I've been happy that Meg sort of took time out from releasing songs because I want her to live a life. It's why, although, you know, I came on this podcast and jokingly was like, I want my Isaiah Rashad album. I was actually very comfortable with him taking time. Like, you have a life to live. Like, go and live that. And then when you come to the album and he's like, I'm at a point now where ain't nothing stopping me but parking fees. I'm like, okay, he's worked through those difficulties that he needed to work through. And it's the exact same here. It's the exact same here. Maybe he needed to go on a pilgrimage to be like, yo, why was I fucking those white women out in Copenhagen? Oh, because I was trying to get it back in blood for what they did to my ancestors. But am I really getting it back in blood, or am I just continuing to perpetuate a cycle? It's like, man, it's conscious. And again, that will resonate with some people. There'll be some people who need to hear that. There'll be some people who are maybe feeling the exact same way, going through the exact same thing, and they don't know how to express it, but now they've had it expressed for them by someone they admire, even though he told you, yo, don't admire me because I am not your savior.
But all of it, it's not lost on me. How can I put it? As someone who's a massive Kendrick fan, I've seen Kendrick multiple times throughout his career.
Yo, nigga, get off that nigga's dick.
I have to. From time he was on doing his first few music videos and we were seeing them on YouTube. And then he was the face of BET for however long. And then we even got to see him live. And all his music videos throughout his career, I've seen Kendrick. It's not lost on me that the first time, seeing him in Ghana, for me personally, is the first time that I really, and this album cover is the first time that it really resonated with me that, oh no, Kendrick's a father now. Like, it just, I don't know how to put it, but seeing, especially with the album cover, it really made it hit home that he was coming at this album from a complete different perspective than he's probably come at these other albums from.
Would you say it's the first time you actually realized that he's like a human outside of an artist?
No, because I'm not one of those guys who gets deluded thinking that artists are just music making machines.
Says the one who's, I expect an album every 18 months.
I do, because I think that just comes with the territory.
That sounds like a music making machine to me. But who am I? Who am I?
A music making machine is I expect an album every 6 months. I don't, unless you're in Griselda and that's the standard that you've got me used to. But for real, I don't really expect it for real. But I would say it's the first time that like I really deep that okay, Kendrick isn't just like, he isn't just in silence enjoying life. Like he's in silence living life. Like he's doing normal things. He's doing very normal things. Even seeing him like this last couple days, he's in Ghana like playing football games randomly in the street with what I assume to be strangers to him. It's like, oh no, he's like, Kendrick is a very normal guy. Just because we've given him, well, me personally, have given him this mantle of best rapper in the game doesn't mean that he doesn't do normal things like everyone else. And like having a child and going through these life experiences, normal things like everyone else, isn't it?
I'm not laughing at that. I'm laughing at he's a rapper that does normal things like everyone else. Like being responsible for 50 murderers in the Atlanta area.
Yeah, piss off.
I'm not a good person. Yeah. Fuck you, nigga. Nah, fuck you, bitch. Fuck you, nigga. Nah, fuck you, bitch. He does those roller coaster songs better than anyone, man. Like between Sing About You Dying of Thirst, The Art of Peer Pressure, You Loving You Is Complicated, and then fucking Duckworth on Damn. He does those to such a supreme level where we're sort of just in on a conversation.
Give me my fucking keys. Now you're mad at me.
You going, nah, this gonna be the day you walk in this bitch.
Yo, fam, that whole song.
Shout out Taylor Page, by the way. Before, please, I
don't
wanna, have you be lost in this.
Killed it.
Unbelievable.
I don't know how that process went in terms of writing and recording and everything, but killed it. I
would love to know. I hope he does an interview with Rick Rubin, like he did for Damn, so that we can hear a bit more. Because I really want to know how that I really want to know how that went. I want to know how he felt. I want to know how he felt when he got the Ghostface verse back.
Niggas talking about Rick Rubin. I hope he does an interview with us. Sit down with us, the Two Stubborn Nigerians.
Get off his dick.
No.
No. Like, niggas lubed it up and everything. Nigga, move. Gosh. No, I really want to, because even if you want to say us, I'd rather Rick Rubin, because he's comfortable with Rick Rubin and he'll actually answer serious questions. And I actually want to know how he felt when he got that Ghostface verse. And I want to know how the writing process went for We Cry Together. How that concept came about. Was that a conversation him and his wife had?
I wouldn't be shocked.
Or is it a conversation that, he's picked out of thin air? You know what I'm saying? Different points, man. It's a really good project. It's a really good project. It's deeply personal, and I was talking to some people around here yesterday. I say I was talking, they asked me about it. I don't talk to people about music, as I say all the time, because I just don't. But like, if you listen to Kendrick album, I was like, yeah. He was like, what do you think? I was like, first time I listened to it, I wasn't really paying attention. I listened to it a lot today, and it's like, I really like it. It's resonated with me. So like, for me, man, he's, I feel like he's just going for making music for his fans now. And I ignored that because I don't want to have a conversation. I didn't ask you for your opinion anyway. But it's like, I feel like he's just having a conversation for his fans now. And he was like, because it's like, it was just like too conscious, or too like, it was like, that was the word he used. It was like, it was too conscious. And I was like, again, do you fools listen to music, or do you just skim through it? And because like I just said at the beginning of my soliloquy today about this album, he's always been vulnerable. He's always been personal. Just because on Good Kid, Mad City, he disguised it behind Schoolboy Q's Yak Yak Yaks and Embrace Yourself, I'll take you on a trip down memory lane. It doesn't mean it wasn't vulnerable. So were you listening to the words or the art, or were you listening to the beat behind it? And then you're, even if you throw to me, I like that Damn Kendrick. That Damn Kendrick was the Kendrick who said that if Top Dog had killed Ducky, then he'd be serving life. But I grew up without a father and died in a gunfight. Like that's Damn Kendrick. So what are you? I got royalty in my DNA. What do you think that means? Like, what do you think he meant by that? Like, do you think he's related to the? No, he's saying I'm a black king, black emperor, black ruler. Negus. Negus. Kendra's the worst. Say Negus. And he screamed that shit. I heard you.
Kendrick is so good at making me feel uncomfortable.
Like, in it, like when they were going like "fuck you," no, but it's like "fuck it."
I'm like, yo, this is in my speakers, bro. Chill out. When Auntie Diaries was going crazy, like, yo, chill out, dog.
Chill out, dog. We ain't ready for that conversation in this church yet.
Oh my god, but nah. I've lost my point. I had a really good point that I wanted to bring up as well. I've forgotten it completely. Oh no. Yeah, nah. Your friend is a weird take to say that he's making music for his fans, because that's the goal at the end of the day anyway.
Wildest point. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Who else am I making music for?
Like, you want me to make music for my enemies? Now saying that, Tupac made music for his enemies and it's slapped.
That's why I thought you're a bitch, you fat motherfucker. The one you niggas got sickle cell, son. Fuck around having seizure fucking with me.
Jesus Christ. Oh my god. But nah, yeah. Big fan of this Kendrick album, man. Big fan of this Kendrick album. I have a feeling it's one of those albums that can only get better, because as I listen to it, every time I listen to it, it gets better. Every single listen. Niggas gonna say I'm dick riding. I don't care. Is what it is. I was prepared.
No, you are dick riding.
I came into this knowing what it was gonna be. Listen.
No, as long as you accepted the fact that you're dick riding, I don't mind. I'm good with people dick riding as long as you accept that you're dick riding. When someone tells you, you're just like, yeah, I am.
Yeah, nah, it's one of those. I was never gonna deny it. There's a lot of artists that I might deny it for. This one, I came to it knowing exactly what it was gonna be.
Yeah, you on that? Yeah, you on that nigga's dick. It's cool.
RDC World couldn't have chosen the worst time to drop that because it was gonna be. I can see that nigga dick in your mouth. I can see.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it. That nigga's dick is right there. Like that. Damn, nigga's dick right there. All you do. Sampha. Father Time's an amazing song.
Father Time is great.
Father Time's a great song. Before I listened to the album, Ain't No Jigger, the page on Twitter, which like tweets out just Jay-Z stories and facts and different shit, was like he was listening to Father Time and like he tweeted like, I felt like at some point Jay should have just come in on Father Time. And when I listened to Father Time, I saw exactly what he meant. It would have just been, if Jay had come in there with a verse, I would have been stupid. But it was amazing to hear Sampha again. It always is. Sampha's, like I've said on this podcast before, he's one of my favorite artists. His album Process is one of my favorite albums of all time. Is why it hangs very proudly on my wall of fame over there in the back. And it was amazing to hear him on that song next to Kendrick. I want to hear more from Sampha. I want an album from Sampha. I hope music is coming from Sampha. That'll make me an extremely happy puppy. But if it doesn't, then I'll live by the fact that I have great songs from Sampha anyway. But it was amazing to hear Father Time is a sensational song. Purple Heart, shout out Summer Walker.
The R&B woman, I won't use the derogatory term that Kendrick used, but the R&B woman really not be on songs together. I have to say, when he said that, like,
at a point. They are so now. They are so more now. Like Kehlani's on Janae's album.
Summer and SZA just did the song.
Summer and SZA, Summer and Janae.
Summer and Dojo.
I wouldn't count Dojo as R&B.
Fair.
At all. There's more. Tiana and Kehlani. There's more. There was a period where they didn't. Definitely. But this modern day version of them, they do.
Unity.
I mean, Snow don't have any of them because she don't need it.
Yeah, she doesn't need features.
She don't need that.
Tyler and no one else.
That's it. That's it. Like, I'm comfy on my ones. Snow said I'm comfy on my ones. I don't need y'all niggas.
Oh my days.
Out of 10?
Out of 10, I would give it, for now, 2 days after, 8. I feel like if you ask me next week, if it keeps on going up the way that it's been going up for me, it could easily be on the 9 next week. Metacritic gave it 100% on day 1, but I'm not shocked from Metacritic.
Metacritic gave it 100% on day 1. Niggas just be. I didn't realize dick riding was acceptable. No one told me.
It's Kendrick.
No one told me.
It's Kendrick Lamar.
I wasn't told. I didn't know that. I didn't know we had just universally accepted dick riding as a form of currency. Like I didn't know niggas could pay for shit in dick riding. So those are my options: Clearpay, Klarna, and dick riding. That's mad.
Klarna. God, man, what you
That's mad. I go in the 8 range as well. I think it can grow.
Mm-hmm.
I think it can grow. I also think it could go down in the sense that it may be hard to come back and listen to this repeated times. And although I have been on the one on this podcast that said how long you stay in rotation I don't factor that into your overall rating anymore. Mm-hmm. I think if it's just difficult for me to go back and listen to it all the way through because of the therapy of it, it may come down. But as of right now, it's an 8. Album of the year.
Potentially.
Album of the year for you?
Potentially. It's between that and It's Almost Dry for me at the moment.
Okay.
It's Almost Dry is definitely at 8.5 now, by the way, confidently.
Okay. It's our first few listens, it's in the grouping. If you remember last time when we talked about It's Almost Dry, I said It's Almost Dry, Conway, Vince, Big Crit, that's what I was forgetting. I remember saying it's like Big Crit, Digital Roses Don't Die is also there as well. So it can sit in that group as of right now for me. And song?
In between two, I'll probably go with I'll probably have to go with Die Hard, man. Die Hard. As I said, Die Hard was the moment I realized that, Kendrick is still number one. I was right to fight for my right to say that Kendrick's still number one for me after I heard Die Hard, especially.
Okay.
You?
My favorite song is Rich Spirit. If you haven't, for whatever reason, listened to this album yet and you want to get an idea of what the album's about, I would say Anti Diaries.
I would say if you haven't listened to this album yet and you want an idea for what this album's about, just listen to the whole album as a whole. Don't go to this isn't a singles album, in my opinion.
I didn't say single. I say if you need a snippet of what you're getting into.
Yeah, I know, but like,
because you can listen to that and say this ain't for me. Like I feel like people would have heard, like the intro to United in Grief and been like, oh yeah, no, this ain't for me. I was looking for a high beat. Like, you're gonna get that. But if you want a snippet of what you're gonna get, Anti Diaries.
Did you see the projected numbers?
I did. He's projected. Well, there's a range. So there's one range where he's projected to less than 300K. Hip hop numbers said between 300K and 350K.
Which numbers I saw, yeah.
Which is also, I think he said in that tweet, which is what I was thinking. He didn't do a physical release, which I thought he was. And I think he changed that like a couple days before. That he wasn't doing a physical release, so it's all streaming. Which makes a lot more sense with the 300 to 350. We'll see how it actually does. But shouldn't like The Heart had 13 million views in 2 hours. So
ridiculous.
Like, what the fuck is the value of a stream? So we'll see. It likely won't do what I thought it would do, which would surpass CLB or be in the 500 to 600K. But like I said, I was on the impression he was doing physicals. But still, 300K first week.
Nothing to scoff at. Nothing.
No one else has done that this year, I don't think.
The highest this year.
It would be the highest this year. So past Future. Shout out Future, you had the highest first week of the year. I think I said that last podcast, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I had to do it again. I had to do it again just because. But yeah, 350 is nothing to sneeze at. Nothing to sneeze at. And who knows, he might still top it.
He could. He really could.
These are all projections. So.
Anything could happen, man. Projections just means I don't know.
Power to the people about to do maintenance. Thank you so much for watching that video. If you were feeling it, please feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Peace.